fishing. There we go. Oh, I see we're caught up on somebody else's line. Let's see. I got caught up on someone else's line. Got caught up on someone's line, but pulled that out, and we'll keep fishing. I don't even know if that was somebody else's or if that's mine from another day, guys, but yeah, if you're just now joining us, we're out here doing a little live bass fishing, you guys. Live bass fishing, and I hope everybody can see. We were having some service issues from here yesterday, but I hope those have resolved. We're gonna fish for worm out. Let's see if we can. Throwing big baits for big fish, guys. How's it going, Pickles? How's it going? Yeah, we're doing a little bass fishing today. Pickles doing a little bass fishing. I kind of like this first-person view, like this chest rig camera setup that I got going on. Although it would have been cool to have it on the tripod last night when I got attacked by that heron out here. Not attacked, I guess, but he landed on my arm. That was kind of wild from last night, but that would have been good. But I like this angle. I think this angle does good. I think I might go out and try fishing somewhere else a little later in the evening. We might hit that cave, maybe. That's what we might end up doing, hitting that cave spot, because that was a pretty good spot with some big catfish in it for sure. But right now we're going to throw this big worm, guys. I don't know if everybody can hear. Hopefully we have resolved the volume problem, guys. But yeah, we're going to throw this big old worm, 12-incher. Let's see how it works. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad everybody can see. Last night we were having some issues with the quality of the stream for whatever reason. And we usually don't at this spot, but yeah, last night it was weird for some reason. So glad to see it's all working out now. Yeah, we just got out here, guys. We just got started, so hopefully we end up making a catch. It's way cooler than it has been. And I mean, when it cooled out, it like really cooled out. I think it's in the 70s today. So we went from like 100 degrees to like 70 in like a day or two. Not entirely sure when it switched over, but yeah, it happened really quick. I'm hoping that it will mean that the fish might be a little more active because it's not as hot out. Bo Rip says, caught a 10-pound bass today in Missouri. Nice, nice, nice. Man, that's a good bass. That's a good bass. Where at are you fishing? I'm in Missouri as well right now. We're at a little kind of a neighborhood park in St. Louis. Fancy color shot that baitcaster says pickles. Yeah, I think so as well. I think so as well. That was one of the reasons that I got it, I guess, because I thought it would look kind of cool. a little different than my usual poles. I keep thinking about getting something more flashy. Nice, nice, yeah. No, I like it so far. It was, like I said, my first, as you know, it was my first bait caster, and I saw it on sale. I was like, I like the colors. I think it's gonna look good on streams. We're gonna definitely have to get it. And so far, it's working pretty good. My first one-piece rod too, so I like the one-piece. I think it definitely think it's a little more sensitive. What I would like to get are some of those, I think they're the Hellcat rods with the glow-in-the-dark on them for like nighttime catfishing. Yeah, my catfish rods are almost, with the exception of the Okuma like salmon rod that I have that I use for catfish as well. The ones I have are kind of almost broken. I mean, they're like 30. They're those Zebco Boss Hog ones, and I've had them for a couple years now, especially recently, as you know from the streams and everything. We've been going live all the time, so that's definitely taken a toll on, on those rods that I'm pretty sure are designed for more like weekend warrior sort of folks, and not people that go every single day cast, so I definitely might invest in some new poles at some point in time. I also want to get an ultralight one. I was looking at I was at Bass Pro the other day, checking out like the different ultralight rods there, and I don't know, I'm kind of wanting to get an ultralight rod just because the one that I have definitely works, but it also is not, it works, it's a good rod, but it's definitely not the best. Definitely not the best. You barely feel anything on it, but you can still cast a little lure. So Pickle says my cat rod is an old Shakespeare tiger rod, super not fancy. Nice, yeah. I don't have a whole lot of fancy like equipment or anything. I got this rod, and I have that Okuma salmon rod, and I think that's probably the most expensive stuff that I have. So I don't have any really high-end fishing gear, but since I go a lot, it's definitely tempted. Shoot. Neither. I'm a fan of cheap workable gear. Yeah, definitely. If it works, you know, why fix it? Like I said, the ultralight rod I have now is like a $9 special from Walmart. But it actually works really well. And I've caught really big fish on it, really small fish on it, and everything in between. But it's like a 2-piece fiberglass, I think. You just don't really feel the bites is all. But if you're using live bait, like I fish with a lot, it doesn't really matter. Oh, that was a bass bite. Let's see if we can. Fish off, guys. Fish off. And I think I know why too. I think I know why, because we're fishing with the 12 and a half inch worm here. So I'm thinking we might have lost it just because it's probably biting the very end of it, if I had to guess. If I had to guess, it was biting just at the very end. So we weren't able to get the fish, but I think we could definitely get one though. Think about these big worms. They're gonna attract some bigger fish. The other day they were biting the very end of my like 5.5 or 6 inch Senkos off. So this worm might be a little too big, but I do know there's also some pretty sizable bass in here too. So I've caught them on like the 9.5 inch worm, like the curly tail worm in here. So I think this will work as long as the bass are big enough. And I caught a catfish on a fluke the other day in here as well. So that should be at a good spot. Nothing here either, guys. Let's see. That's right on the edge of those lily pads over there. Let's see if we can draw anything out of there. Yeah, we might be able to, guys. Let's see. I saw one. Saw one just surfaced there. Should be a good spot. Let's see. So I don't know, guys. We're getting close. We may have to switch it up, though. I think we're gonna switch worms because I don't think the massive worm here is gonna attract anything. But we definitely were getting some bites. They're just kind of red on the end. So we'll switch it up. Switch to something a little smaller. Because while we were getting bites, they just weren't super aggressive. You know, they were biting the very end of that worm. Which I think this is just a little too big for them. So we'll use something a little more finesse. I guess we could go to that slightly smaller size, like the June bug. The June bug, like 9 inches, but I think we'll even go down a little further. We'll try something like, let's see, one of the trick worms, I think. We'll go for trick worm. Trick worm with like a tiny bit of weight. So instead of like a 1/4 ounce, we'll go to like a 1/16 of an ounce weight. And we might even go to Go size. Yeah, we'll go size 2/0 hook. I like to crimp these down because I think that it helps take the hook out easier. Put on tiny little sinker, guys. Go-to rig for bass. So either a Texas rig or a Carolina rig. It's usually what I use. Here on this particular lake, I generally stick with a Texas rig just because it's the most, I think it's a little more weedless than the Carolina rig. And this particular little pond has a ton of debris and sticks and other crap that's in the water. So that's my go-to rig, I guess. Plus it's just super easy to tie on. And I've tried throwing other stuff, you know, other like less weedless stuff. I mean, I'll go wacky every now and again, but wacky rig gets hung up a lot if there's anything in the water, and also, as do Ned rigs. I've tried Ned rigs too, but I can't ever seem to make the Ned rigs work really. They just get snagged up so easy, I think. But where I usually fish, we don't have a ton of like rocks and other stuff on the bottom. It's usually like mud and weeds on the bottom, so that makes it difficult to fish those sort of rigs. So that's why I like fishing, you know, Texas rigs, that sort of stuff, just like this. Then I'll bury the hook. So that's my usual setup right there. Super weedless and seems to work okay. And I'm just fishing it with a little bit of weight, so it sinks down kind of slow. A lot of times on places like this, I don't fish with a ton of weight. So we'll see if we can get any. I felt some bites on that really big worm that I had on. So I switched to a way smaller worm, and maybe we could actually get him to bite where the hook is. We'll see. Ah, that was a bite, guys. I don't know. I thought we had him. Let's see what he did. Yep, he just grabbed the end of it, I guess. Grabbed the end of it and pulled it down. Man, that was a good one too, though. It felt, I think it was a smaller bass, but it was definitely a good bite. Definitely a good bite, decent bite. So he felt like he had hit it pretty good and hard. So that was close, guys. That was close. was probably one of those like year-old bass that they have in here that we've been catching a lot of recently. Like a little half-pounder or something. I'll just let him run with the bait a little longer, I think. But he bit that right as soon as it hit the water and started falling is what he bit, so. So we know they're swimming all through here. This big old shady spot is where they're all trying to get out of the sun. This particular pod, there's a couple of shady spots where they usually almost always can be found in the middle of the afternoon. That was a bite. Something just tapped the end of it there. That was close. All right, let's see if we can do it again. So I'm just watching the line. If that line starts moving, it's a little bite. Fish on, guys. Fish on. Fish on, guys. Fish on. Fish on. There we go, guys. There we go. That's what I was saying. One of those little bass. Man, this one's a little guy, but hey, first fish of the day, guys. No skunk. No skunk. This guy's a really little one. Brand new fish. He was probably bored this year, guys. Nice little bass, though. First fish of the day, I'll take them. There's definitely bigger ones in here. But I'll take this as the first of the day, guys. No skunk. Thank you, Pickles. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There we go, bud. We'll catch him again. Catch him when he's bigger. All right, we know they're hitting this. We know it's working, so we're going to stick with it, guys. Also got to stick with this area because I'm pretty sure there's more. There's got to be more where that came from. And I know there's some bigger ones in here as well. So we'll see, guys. All right, that's a good spot right on the edge of that sunlight and shade. Let's see if anything bites. I don't know, guys. We'll get him some. Just waiting to watch that line. When that line starts moving, that's when we know we'll set the hook on him, guys. But yeah, if you're just now joining us, I want to thank you for stopping in. We're out here doing some fishing in St. Louis, Missouri. Trying to catch some bass. We caught one so far. A little guy, but he was a bass. We're looking to get some bigger ones on the line too. All right, let's see. Hey, how's it going, Travis? Travis C is on. Travis C is on. How's it going, Travis? Travis C. How's it going? We caught one bass so far, Travis. One bass so far. Got timed out for other channels. Oh, man, that's too bad. Were you trolling or something? What other channels were you checking out? How big was the bass? Asks Will. It was a little one, like a year old, or like a little half pounder or something. But there's bigger ones in here too. Yeah, well, we don't have that troll in here. But yeah, we caught like a little guy, but there's definitely some bigger ones in here too. So that's what we're trying to go ahead and that's what we're trying to catch. That's what we're trying to catch, are some bigger ones. Up. There we go. We guess toss that on in there. But yeah, thank you. Pickle says, "Hey Will, Travis." Travis says, "Hi Pickle." So Travis trolling. Will says that combo's sick. Thank you, Will. Thank you. I really like it. I like the colors. It's got pretty decent. I think it's got a pretty decent action, and doesn't get backlashed that easy. I've had a couple bad ones, but not too many. It's my first combo, or my first baitcast combo. But yeah, I like the colors on it, and it's a one piecer, so it's good. It's definitely got more sensitivity than some of the other ones, other rods that I have. For Bass Pro, Ass Pickles. Yep, it's from Bass Pro. This is like one of their I think it's called the Prodigy Bass Pro combo thing. So basically it was on sale for like $94, I believe. But it works pretty well. I mean, it was like under $100, and it's a pretty decent combo, I think. And like I said, it's my first bait caster, and it works pretty well. I think it took a little bit to get used to. Like bait casting took a little bit to get used to, but I like it better than spinning now, I think. At least for this style of fishing, like casted like bass lures, I think it works a little better. Or at least it feels more like a bass rod. Yep, see those at Bass Pro. Yeah, no, I think it works pretty well, and I like it. All right, this worm's kind of falling apart. I'm actually just gonna hook it right through the middle, and we'll try fishing it wacky. We'll see how badly it gets hung up on stuff. This is like technically a weighted wacky rig, but it's not a ton of weight, so I think the action should be all right still. Well, that was a hit. But see, that's the problem. Like I was saying, if you do anything other than weedless, you're gonna get hung up on different stuff in this pond. Oh, that looked good. Fish on, guys. Fish on. Fish on. Oh, we got one, guys. We got one. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Oh, it's a bigger one. It's a little bigger, guys. It's a little bigger. Not huge. Not huge. Another little half pounder, but still not a bad fish, guys. Still not a bad fish. Take a look at that. We got us another fish wacky rig. Not even like true wacky rig. It was just kind of a worm hook with a... There we go. Second fish of the day, guys. No skunk today, guys. No skunk today. Nice little chunky one. Chunky one. Look at him. Thank you, Pickles. Thank you. Second fish of the day, guys. Second one of the day. That might have been a little too big to throw like that, but he survived. He survived. Usually if they're really small, it doesn't matter if you give them a toss, but definitely on bigger ones, I like to release them better. What's your PB? My bass PB, that was it like 4 pounds? 4 pounds? So that was in Nebraska, I believe. Yeah, I haven't caught, like I said, I haven't been into bass fishing for that long. I'm just starting to get more into it though. That was what I got the bait caster for. I'm gonna get a bait caster and I'm gonna learn how to bass fish this year. So that's what I've been trying to do. And now I can catch one just about every time I come out here to this place. But I also got to know this pond pretty well too. It's like a little 2-acre pond right next to me, so. That wasn't a 4-pounder. That was like a half-pounder maybe, but yeah, that was a nice little fish. Nice little fish. Glad to see him. Second one of the day. Let's see if we get another one, because I know there's more in this place. 4 pounds, pretty good. Nice job, says Will. Thank you. Thank you, Will. I've caught some like 1.5 and 2 pounders out of this little pond, so there's definitely bigger ones in here. Definitely bigger ones in here. Let's see, guys. We're right on the edge of that shadow and sunlight, so we'll see if that attracts a bit or not. So that's one on a Texas rig, one on the wacky rig. You're really asking to get timed out on this channel too from the fish on, guys, fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on, guys. Oh, we got one on, guys. We got one on. Fish on, nice. A little bigger. A little bit bigger than the last one, guys. A little bigger than the last one. Take a look at that, you guys. Take a look at that. We got another bass. Try not to get hooked. So calm down, bud. Thank you, Pickles. There we go, guys. Another bass. Third one of the day, guys. Third one of the day. There we go. Toss them back in. Yes, we are. And thank you for that, Pickles. Thank you. It's like, I can see why you got timed out. He's trying to get banned from every YouTube channel live stream, I guess. I see where my worm went. We had dropped. He kind of threw it off. I always like to pick up the fishing trash if I can find it. Well, I don't see it. Let's go ahead and put maybe like one of these on. A little Senko, something like this. That's why I've injured, funny, and clean. Yeah, and he was none of those. He was none of those. So thank you. Thank you for that, Pickles. Yeah, some people are just trying to get banned from stuff, so that's fine. Choice is up to them. All right. So yeah, this is kind of my go-to rig, Pickles. Pickles says looks good. Yeah, I think so as well. We'll see if the bass thinks so. Sometimes you can catch them super close to shore as well. That's a good spot. Let's see if the fish think so. Oh man, it's oh, we caught something, guys. We caught something. We caught. Is it a stick bass? Tree bass? What is it? Plastic bag bass. Caught on to something out here, guys. Caught on to something. And it's plastic bag, guys. The old plastic bag bass. felt all that just like dead weight on there. I was like, that's not good. It's not a fish. Let's see. Oh man, that was a bite. That was a bite at least, guys. That was a good bite, but yeah, so we'll just make that hook just a little further out. See, when you put the hook too far out, it kind of undoes the weedlessness of the whole getup, but means you have a slightly higher possibility of hooking them. So that's right where I'll put it. Just kind of burying it right to the side, right to the side. Hey, let's see. Shoot. So sometimes you'll get a little, I just got a tiny bit of backlash, not a lot, but not sure what happened there, but we cast off that bait, which is fine. We'll just put on a different plastic. Let's see. Go with a trick worm or go with a I'll try a fluke again. Something different. to what we have been throwing, so maybe it'll work. And it does have a tiny bit of weight on. We'll see if that will affect it too much or not. Some people say that the weight on the fluke kind of ruins the action of them, but I've definitely caught fish on a weighted fluke before. Oh man, you guys, did you see that, you guys? Did you see that? We got a bite. We got a bite, guys. We'll try to fish it up just like that. How's it going, Caden? How's it going? Good to see you out here, my friend. Good to see you out here. We're just doing a little bass fishing. Trying to catch us some bass. Whenever I get a bite, I immediately stop reeling, watch my line, and wait for it to swim, then count to 2, set the hook. That is a, yeah, that's definitely a good strategy to use. You got to wait for them to actually get that solidly in there before you set. Otherwise, yeah, you'll definitely pull it out of their mouth. Yeah, sometimes I set a little too early on some of these. Liam says, any tips for using a bait caster? Just practice, I guess, Liam. I just got started using a bait caster a couple months ago, and I've already kind of got the hang of it, I'd say. Not like an expert, but it took a little while to learn, but it was just try it and try it and try it. And eventually I figured it out. You'll definitely have some backlash, though. Give them a minute or two to eat it. Yeah, that's definitely a good call. Because yeah, if you set it too soon, just started yesterday, says Liam. Nice. Well, you'll get the hang of it pretty soon, in a day or two, I'd say. Definitely should figure it out in a day or two. Your brake is pretty important though, so make sure that like your brake is set heavy enough, especially at the start, to where you don't drop a ton of line out, you know. Like that's a pretty good speed to have your brake set at. See, it doesn't. Yeah, setting tension in the brake is key. That's kind of a speed that I like it set at, and I've noticed I've avoided backlashes as long as I keep the brake set heavy enough. You don't want it to be set so loose it just like basically falls out. I love using a bait caster, says Caden. So do I. I think it's a good, it's definitely a good system to use once you get the hang of it. It works pretty well, I'd say. Are the Bass Pro bait casters good? Yes, yeah, that's what I'm using right now, and I don't have any complaints. This is the Bass Pro Prodigy, and I would recommend it. I know it was on sale. I think it'll probably go on sale again. It was like $94, and it works really well. I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good system. I don't have any complaints with it. It's what I'm using to learn how to bait cast on. So, but yeah, I don't have any complaints. Bass Pro qualifier combo is extremely good for the price, says Caden. Yeah, probably too. Probably. That's probably another good one. I think Bass Pro is good stuff. Fish and Feast has a good video on how to use bait caster for beginners. Nice. I've probably seen it. It sounds familiar, but yeah. So yeah, check that video if you're looking to figure out how to use bait caster. Because yeah, once I got my brake setting down and everything, it got a lot easier. As well as just practice. Yeah, I've watched a ton of videos on I've watched how to use them. I just gotta take a stop at the spool. Yeah, as long as you stop I mean, you don't even have, like right there, I didn't stop the spool that well, but as long as you kind of make sure that it doesn't keep shooting line out after it hits the water, you could avoid the backlash. That's kind of why I set the brake and the tension on it is important. Makes sense, just keep practicing and learning. Yeah, that's all I've been doing is just kind of learning from doing it. Oh man, you guys. No way. No way, guys. Shoot, man. We just broke off. That sucks. We just broke off. I hate breaking off after they already get the hook and everything. Man, he broke the line. But that's part of fishing, guys. That's part of fishing. Sometimes you break off. Yeah. Very good job, guys. Very good job. Nice. Started fishing 6 months ago. Well, you'll definitely get the hang of it. The more you practice fishing, the more you'll learn. Fishing's one of those things that as long as you just get out and do it, you'll definitely learn how. Like I said, I didn't know much about bass fishing, and I still don't really, I'm not a bass expert or anything, but I'm definitely getting the hang of it. I've learned more about bass fishing this summer, I would say. A lot of it is just being in a place where there are fish, though. It's one of the most important things is getting your lure in front of the fish. So if you can find the fish, that's probably the most important part. Good spot. What state fishing? Where am I fishing in? I'm fishing in St. Louis, Missouri. So yeah, I fish for freshwater fish. That's all we have here. Mostly bass, catfish, that sort of stuff. It's usually what I go for. What about yourself, Liam? Where are you at? Georgia. Oh, nice, Georgia. Georgia has some really good fishing too. Yeah, Georgia has some really good bass fishing, I know, and I mean, I've never been, but I've seen people, a lot of fishing channels are from down that way. Plus, you guys got saltwater. Hey, Brett Grimm, how's it going, Brett? Good to see you out here again, man. Good to see you out here. Thank you for joining us again. We've caught 3 bass so far. No skunk today, 3 bass. They weren't huge, like half-pounders or so, but still some fish. Yeah, thank you for coming back on. Waiting for another fish to bite, guys. We had a break off. We've had a lot of bites, so we caught 3 of them. Hey, how's it going? Honeycut, how's it going? We caught 3 of them so far. 3 bass so far. They're like little half pounders or so, but they're still bass. Yeah, thank you for coming back on, Honeycut. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was at me or not. I couldn't see where they're yelling from. It might have been. It might have been. What lure do you think is best to practice with? Depends what you're trying to target, guys. Depends what you're trying to target. I think like learning these soft plastics and stuff is a good way to learn how to bass fish, because that's what you're gonna get your bass on, guys. Just because bass really go for these soft plastic style lures on the bottom, you know. You're a bot at life. You're a bot at life. How's it going? How's it going? You're a bot. We're back out here. We caught 3 of them so far. We caught 3 fish so far. You're a bot. Good to see you back on here again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. As always, thank you for stopping in, my friend. Really appreciate that. Appreciate the support. In shape in case you lose it while practicing. That's what I think. Yeah, the Senkos, like soft plastics, definitely the most effective for bass, and they're also pretty cheap. Yep, all largemouth. Little guys, like half pounders or so, but yeah, 3 largemouth. What's your PB? Well, I'd say like a 4-pound bass, but yeah, like a 4-pounder for the bass. What about yourself, Liam? Five-pound smallmouth for me, 2.5-pound largemouth. Nice. That's a big smallie. Yeah, that's a really nice smallmouth. Two and a half pound largemouth, says Liam. Nice. That's a good fish too. That's a good fish. I mean, they're definitely good fish. I mean, you know, if you think like 2.5 pounds, it kind of depends on what the fish is, right? A 2.5 pound largemouth is really big. Catfish, I think 2.5 pounds is, still respectable depending on where it's at. Kind of all depends on the water you're fishing, right? So like in this place, 2.5 pound catfish, because they have a stocking program, and most of the catfish in here are like year old or so. 2.5 pound would be good, but oh guys, do you see that? 1 second, he's let him take it. Oh man, you guys. Let's see, I think it was just a little too big for him, I bet if he let's see what he did. That was close. Yeah, like a big Senko. 9.5 inch or so. I think a 9-inch Senko. With the twisty tail on it and everything. I've just been seeing all those YouTube videos of the really big worms, people fishing with the giant worms, and so that's why I decided to try that. I have like a 12-incher that I was fishing with, but we didn't get any bites on that. Well, we got bites, but they were all on the tail part. That's what all 3 hit off of? Yep, all 3 of them off of Senkos. Not this particular one. I had a trick worm take one, like a regular 5-inch Senko take one, and then the other one, maybe another trick worm. Oh, trick worm fished wacky. I've been getting hits on these big worms. I'm just trying to see, maybe these bigger worms will lure in some bigger fish. Was my thought. Just got out of a timeout, says Travis. Yeah, because you were trolling. Good look by official Raf Outdoors 2.0. Doing good, Raf. Raf Outdoors. Good to see you out here. Good to see you out here, Raf. We got Raf Outdoors out here, guys. Thank you for stopping in. We caught 3 of them so far. So yeah, doing okay. We're doing this new, kind of a new camera angle. Got a chest mount. You're a bot at life. Said get the chest mount. I did, and I like it. I like it because I can do fishing like this and also check the chat. Yeah, you start trolling again. Yeah, probably gonna get the timeout again. But if I miss some, I was focused on my fish videos. Hey, no problem, Raph. No problem, Raph. No, I just appreciate you stopping in again. You know, whenever you can get in, that's what I say. And yeah, you got a good channel as well. So if everyone wants to check out some Canadian fishing, Raph Outdoors does a lot of fishing up there in Canada. A lot of fishing up there in Canada. He also does fly tying. Up there in Quebec. Yep. Raph is up there in Quebec. Doing a lot of fishing up there. Doing good stuff. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping in, checking out the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Merci. That's about all I know of French. Just kind of dragging it along the bottom, guys. Okay, it's not motto. Just gonna go ahead and put this word back on a little better. Something kind of pulled it down. Let's see. We'll just put it all the way through like that, I guess. Nine and a half. I used to teach at University Lava. Nice, nice. Live in Colorado. There's Professor Bruxel. Nice, nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, it's a small world. Everybody knows where everybody's from in the chat, or has family there. That's what I like about the doing live streams. Six degrees, can't make it. It's a small world. Yeah, it is. It is. That's what I like about the chat. It's like you always up, up. Ah, man. Yeah, that one was definitely a smaller one. We're gonna switch it up to something a little smaller because they took it right at the end there, which is not ideal. So we'll switch out. Let's see. Switch it out again, guys. These are these Yum Dingers, guys. They work really well. I will check that out, Raph. I will check that out. I've never caught a lake trout before. So congrats, man. Congrats. That's awesome. One second, guys. There we go. Yeah. I will check that out. I'll check that out. I see a striper. Or at least one of them. And congrats on that, though. Congrats. That's good. That's a good fish. You ever try the Striped King caffeine shad fluke? I have not. No, I have not. Yeah, usually I just use the Zoom fluke. Is usually what I use. Just the Zoom fluke. The Zoom fluke, and then I'll sometimes go with like some of those paddle tail baits as well, like the Bass Pro brand, like paddle tail baits, that sort of stuff. Usually just use like Zoom and Yum stuff. Whoa. I don't have a ton of like, I know everybody likes those Gary Yamamoto, like the actual like brand name Senkos, but usually I use like Yum Diggers and other Yum baits, like Yum Finesse baits, as well as Zoom stuff. Yep, I use cheap plastic baits a lot too. Yeah, that's what I use a lot of, are the cheaper stuff. Yum and Zoom, as well as like store brand, are kind of what I use a lot of. I've seen like all kinds of videos, you know. Some people are like, oh, the Yamamoto's better. And other people are like, oh, no, the Yum actually has better action. So I've heard both things. I think they both have like different actions, but they work pretty much the same. And I've been watching a lot of videos have been saying a lot of the colors are kind of a lie. As long as you have like a dark color and a light color, it doesn't matter the exact pattern, I guess, in the worm. Come on, guys. We want one more. We want one more fish. My battery is like at 15%, I think, right now. So I'm getting into the dangerous territory of my phone will shut off soon. But I want to try to get one more before it. Oh, that was a good. Something bit just the very end. Might have been a blue geeky. Sometimes those green sunfish and blue giggies will hit those Seikos like the very end of them as well. So that might have been the case there, guys. Might have been one of those blue giggies. There we go. It's a good spot. There. But I haven't changed spots a whole lot today because once I got to this spot, I started getting a lot of bites, which is why we've been here the whole time. But there's definitely, the shade has really grown out here. There's a lot more shade. From what I understand, bass kind of like shaded areas in the sunlight. Oh, it's a good spot. Wait a minute, guys. Let's see. There's those frogs. Come on, one more, guys. That's what we want. We want to catch at least one more. We'll just fish it slower. Sometimes that's the key, guys. It's right on the edge over there, guys. That's not bad. Oh man, you guys, that was a bite. That was like one of those bites where they were short striking it. Like I said, we've been getting baits out here, guys. And we've been getting fish too. 10% battery life, guys. Good spot. Since that was working before, we'll try wacky again. Again, this is like a true wacky, but it'll work. Let's just go right through the middle, just like that. And I've got this to work plenty of times before. Especially with their short striking like this. There's that bird that landed on me the other night. Oh man, that was... I don't even know where he had... Let's see. It's a good spot. That's a little stick bass. All right, we have 4% battery left. Let's make it count, guys. Come on, guys. %. Oh man, that was close. Let's see. One more. I have 2% battery, guys. All right, guys, my battery is basically dead, so I'm gonna have to call the stream here. Thank you, though. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel, for stopping in. Thank you, Pickles. Thank you, Raph. Thank you. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, your bot. Everybody, see y'all on the next live stream. Have a good one.